Elizabeth, do you want to search the entire building? I said, no. I want to go up to where we can dominate the whole place. I don't think anyone is left in the hotel. It's a good place to hide. It has a lot of rooms. It's high up. Jill said, it gets dangerous at night. The slightest light might attract others here, especially if someone is lurking in the dark and inside other buildings. You are easily accessible to them. They can see you, but you can't see them. I said, that's why it's deserted here and we didn't find anyone. The sound of a car and slight vibrations announced Sebastian's return. Several hunters came to the middle of the intersection. One of them turned his head towards us and let out a muffled roar. I nodded. They had a strong sense of smell. They scattered. 2 of them entered the hotel. Jill said, although they are under Sebastian's command, it is better not to lose caution. Yes. It is a good idea. Keep the hooks ready. We will go down from here. The hunters came to our floor. When they saw us, they looked at each other. Their mouths were moving and they were making muffled sounds. They sniffed the air and went to the upper floors. When we were sure that they had left, we took the path back to the street. Sebastian's eyes turned red when he contacted them and he was silent. We continued on our way. The speed of movement was slower than before because of Sebastian and the hunters. We had a good margin of safety. Several streets were completely blocked. Many barriers had been placed on the streets after what had happened. Cement blocks had blocked the width of the street in a zigzag pattern and you had to go through them in a spiral. We could have walked through them, but there was no room to turn around and drive. Sarah and Harry would find open paths in the cars. Then we would continue on the same path. Sebastian, stop. Do we have a guest? We all stopped. He continued. We should continue on the street to the right. But we have to pass in front of a street where armed men are stationed. I don't think we can get through without a fight. I said on the radio. Can you guess how many of them there are? I see someone on top of the building. There's probably someone on the building opposite him. I can't see into the street. Can we sneak in quietly? So that the others don't notice. They can't see us from where we are. Let's go a little further. The person on the right can see us. But staying here is not good either. If their people are outside and come back, they will see us. We need to get rid of the 2 people on top of the building and on the street. I will attack them with the hunters and prevent them from coming to the street. You quickly get to the street on the right and stay away from the place. I said, let's start. We moved to the left and drove the cars into a side alley in order. Elizabeth and I set off to eliminate the guard on the roof. Eli came towards me and said, leave it to me to silence one of the guards on top of the building. I agreed with him. He quickly reached the beginning of the street, and we found the building where the guard was on top. From behind the building, we reached the edge of the roof with our grappling hooks. We grabbed the edge with our hands. We couldn't keep ourselves suspended for long. I slowly raised my head. The guard had his back to us. The roof was no place to hide. Eli had a hard time. He had to shoot the guard in the throat, and on the other hand, his body had to fall onto the roof and not into the street. He looked for an entrance to the building. He took the steel bow in his hand. He aimed at her with the bow scope and shot. I said, I'm getting tired. This girl has been at it for a long time. Let's not worry about being stealthy. We'll shoot her with a silent gun. We'll immediately shoot her in the face. Ellie's voice came out on the wireless. I shot her. We pulled ourselves up. The guard had gone to the edge of the roof. I pointed my gun at her. She groaned and the gun fell from her hand. Elizabeth had shot her with a grappling hook. The arrowhead had passed through her body. She turned towards us. I shot her in the head and she fell to the floor of the roof. Elizabeth pulled the trigger. The arrow came out of the man's body. Blood and pieces of internal organs were stuck to the arrowhead and its barbs. I said, wouldn't it have been better to shoot him? What if he fell off the roof? Eli also killed the people in the street.